few, keeps able to pick up Yaxter. Gravestar is able to pick up 2.
Immortality field, and Ninja Curly Fry's just gonna pop. There's a triple, there's a quadra kill.
Got Crazy Man though. And now the rest of them are gonna get off the edge.
Are we sure? Oh! You can't see goes to the first headshot of the game.
Lucio dies, the Lucio can't contest, and Ball State is gonna take the first point. They're up 1-0 in the series.
That blitz is gonna come out. It's gonna allow them to get Ludless, Nightmare, Echo, Karma, Erlington. The entire BGSU team is going to fall.
From action, sitting rush, it's going.
I see right here, he might move someone off the map. There goes that. There goes Matt.
Oh my god. Back outside. I think we're gonna see another team wipe, and that's number 2.
Hello and welcome into stupendously stupefying Muncie, Indiana, where tonight we're here for a little high-level Overwatch, maybe a little grade A Overwatch, you might add. Your Ball State Cardinals are going to take on the Eastern Michigan University Eagles, correct?
I believe so, yeah. I think it's the Eagles.
Battle of the Birds once again last week. Miami of Ohio came to Ball State. Ball State ended up dropping that one in a very, very close game. 2 very, very closely contested matches. But before we get into that, my name is Austin, a.k.a. really, whatever you choose to call me.
And my name's Zane, a.k.a. Pokey Penguin.
And going back to what I was mentioning before last week, your Cardinals did fall to Miami, University of Miami, Ohio Redhawks, which I thought they were the Redbirds. They're the Redhawks. I got that corrected.
Hawks are birds. You're not like wrong.
Yeah, I wasn't wrong, but I wasn't correct either.
Yeah,
it was a weird gray area. But Cardinals now 6-2 Miami, continuing their reign of dominance in the ESC so far, remaining undefeated. This week, completely different matchup. Eastern Michigan. If I do remember correctly, they are not having the greatest season. I want to say they are down there in that back end of the lineup, you know, with the rest of the Michigan schools. No offense, but it just it seems like it's like Western Michigan, Central, and Eastern Michigan are all like right there in kind of that second half,
Gotta stick together,
fighting for a playoff spot here. But what are you looking for tonight? I mean, Cardinals have to bounce back off of that tough loss against Miami of Ohio. Not only that, a loss in a home game, the first home game in the history of Ball State Esports. They take a tough loss there. How do they bounce back?
You know, I think especially if EMU's kind of like lower middle in the ranks, I think if we could get like a nice like quick win here, that would very much boost our player spirits. Especially also going off, we faced Kent State, 3-0'd them, which they played amazing there. And I think if we can continue that, then over time eventually we'll be back to 100%.
Well, and I don't even think it's as much as we weren't at 100%. I think just that one night, Miami got the better of us. I mean, you got to think they were sitting in that little van all the way from Oxford up here to Muncie in that party van. I bet the vibes were immaculate. The vibes were high on the way over here, and they came in here and they let the Overwatch do the talking, and it indeed spoke volumes about the just power and strength that Miami of Ohio team has. But this Ball State team, not to be outdone. I mean, they did beat that same team just earlier in the year, months ago.
That is true. That is true. I do think that I agree that we're like playing 100%. I do think morally, I don't know if we're gonna be at 100% here. But I honestly, from what I know about the players, I feel like they got the like, memories of the goldfish, like, and just like they don't care anymore. They're like focused on this game. Well, at least that's what I'm hoping for.
Well, and if you're this high level of an athlete, you kind of have to. You know, you're going to make mistakes. We're all human. No one's perfect. And I like to say, it's what makes paintings beautiful. Is every painting has an imperfection, but it doesn't make it any less beautiful.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to mess up eventually, but it's how you react and how you bounce back from that. And like you said, we typically do pretty well against the middle, higher lower tier teams in the ESC, like the middle of the pack, maybe towards the back of the pack, we historically have had pretty decent success. But this also could be a great trap game for Eastern Michigan to take another win away from Ball State. I mean, Ball State 6-2, tough loss last week. How about we take a look at tonight's matches around the ESC? We've done a lot of talking about Miami of Ohio, EMU. So how about we take a look here? We've got Bowling Green versus Miami. I'm pretty sure we have played Bowling Green and we did beat them. NIU versus U Buffalo, Kent State versus Central Michigan, Western Michigan versus Northeastern University, NEU, the other red, white, and black Husky school, Ohio versus Akron, oh my goodness, and NKU versus U Toledo. Which one of these matchups stands out to you?
Well, immediately, like, we were already talking about Miami, so, like, my mind already, like, goes to Miami versus BGSU. But other than that, like, the Akron, Ohio game would definitely be a nice one to watch. NYU versus U Buffalo also as well would be an amazing game to watch. So, yeah.
A lot of good games tonight. I also really like that NIU U Buffalo game, as well as that Western Michigan NEU game. Like you said, those are all four of those teams probably will be playoff teams. If I'm not getting the standings, which we will take a look at next here in a minute, confused in my head, getting all turned around. But I said oh my about the Ohio and Akron game because we know I'm not the biggest fan of Akron, and Ball State kind of has had a history with Ohio as well.
That is true.
That is, it's an interesting matchup, to say the least.
It is interesting. That's why I'm kind of drawn to it, and just I gotta look in to make sure I find the results of that game, because both, like you said, just the relationship with Ball State. I want to know out of the two which one came out on top.
Yeah, and looking forward to the end of the season. End of the season is right around the corner. For those of you that don't know, we are like a week away from playoffs. 2 weeks.
I think it's 2 weeks. I know we do have 2 more games after this one tonight. I don't know if we're doing them both next week or one for each week, though.
So with playoffs right around the corner, let's go ahead and take a look at the season standings. Let's see what teams are fighting for their way to make the playoffs and what teams might get left behind. I do believe it is the top 6 teams. So right now, I believe the cutoff is behind Akron or Bowling Green, depending on what the cutoff is. I do believe it's 6. It could be 8. I'm almost certain it's 6 though, because we are able to stream quarterfinals, and then eFuse takes over the final 2. So in order to play every single round, you have to have someone to play every single round. So I'm pretty sure it is 6 that make the playoffs here. And you see Miami up there, 10-0. NEU 9-1, Ohio and Ball State both at 8-2. Kent State 7-4. Akron and Bowling Green both sharing that last spot at 6-4. Looking back at the second half of the ESC, you got WMU at 5-5, NIU at 4-6, EMU at 3-7, U Buffalo at 2-7, CMU at 2-9, U Toledo at 0-9, and NKU at 0-10. Not the best season for Northern Kentucky or U Toledo, still hunting for that win. But we see there are rivals or competitors here tonight. Eastern Michigan, they do lie in that second tier, that second. And I don't think they have a chance to make the playoffs unless, like, every team in front of them loses.
Yeah, which, if that happens, then that's like a miracle. Like, I just watched Holes recently.
Oh, yeah?
Do you remember Holes?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so someone's got to carry him up a mountain. That's what I'm imagining. Whole team on someone's back, just join the sweet onions up the top.
You know, I'll never say never, but for Eastern Michigan, the little light at the end of the tunnel is getting dimmer and dimmer ever so quickly. And to meet the Cardinals this late in the season, that is
tough. That
is not a matchup you want to draw 1 or 2 weeks away from playoffs, especially when, in order to peak at the right time, you have to, well, hold on. In order to play your best going into the playoffs, you have to peak at the right time. And this is when these teams are going to start hitting their stride to carry that momentum into the playoffs. So we talked a lot about Ball State. Let's go ahead and take a look at their roster. I highly, highly doubt there will be any changes. We might see some black roster here tonight. But on tank, you have Spencer. Your DPSs are Ninja Curly Fry and You Can't See Ghost. Support is Yakester, and the other support, Raven Strider. The 5 most menacing people on this campus, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I see them in the hallways and people cower.
They cower
They
in
hide
fear,
behind
they
the
do.
corners. They hide behind just whatever they can because they, like, you see Spencer walking down the hallway. You can't just walk.
Yeah, his aura is too powerful.
You get too close and then you kind of start feeling dizzy. I've seen some people just pass out because they don't even realize that one of them's like around. They just like sneak up because they're so sneaky too. They sneak up behind you.
They are. This team, nothing short but magnificent. I think the 2 losses on their record can easily be explainable. I mean, you lose to undefeated Miami of Ohio. So be it. That's a tough loss, but it's not one that's going to hold you back. And you also drop a game to NEU coming off of spring break. So the Miami loss is really the only one I'm willing to take into actual consideration. That's not saying anything about NEU, but knowing the stories that I've been told up off that stage, spring break was not grind season, I will say that.
yeah. Spring break, probably doing anything else but playing. But yeah.
And then let's go ahead and take a look at our foes here tonight. Eastern Michigan, the Eagles. I do believe they call their football field the Nest.
At my I went to 2 high schools. My first one also did that. Or it wasn't. It was more like the basketball, not football.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what we call our basketball one here is the Nest, Worthen. But taking a look here at Eastern Michigan, we've got Silver B on tank. Your 2 DPSs for the Eagles are Dr. Rosenow?
Yeah.
And it's a house reference. I'm going to be so
The show house?
Yeah, I'm like 99% sure because I mean, you got a doctor name and then right next to house.
Yeah, I've never seen House. I'm useless here.
Yeah, I've got someone that's probably going to kill me because I didn't recognize that right away.
Yeah.
And then the supports, you got Indigo and Blook. I hope we get to see a Winston. I always enjoy seeing Winston. It's always fun seeing the monkey, little Winton.
Yeah, you don't see him as much, which kind of sucks because he's so cool. He's just a talking monkey.
Oh, these are all the characters they play, so we will get to see a little bit of Winton. So this comp is actually interesting because you've got the Symmetra, which Symmetra typically isn't actually ran. You know, you get the teleporter out of the spawn, and then you just go back and switch. And then Genji also is an interesting pick because I don't feel like we've seen him a whole lot either.
Yeah, especially Genji really just falls to anyone who his deflect just doesn't matter with.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying it's interesting because you have the beam player in Symmetra who, for those of you that aren't aware, her primary fire is just a beam. And the more damage you do with it, the more damage it does. So it's interesting to have 2 sides of just the meta. Well, not even the meta, just the comp here on a single team. I guess it makes it hard to kind of adapt to. Because, you can't pick Genji to try and counter the Genji, and you can't ego pick it because they have the Symmetra. And you can't really pick Bastion because you can't just blow through the Symmetra with your turret because Genji's there with his deflect.
That's true.
And then as far as the supports go, that's normal for us. We see Yaker, we see Raven run, Lucio, Kiriko all the time. And then I feel like tank is really the only role here that we get to see a lot more, out of the box picks. We get to see a Wrecking Ball every once in a while. We get to see a Reinhardt. We get to see, we saw Malga that one time. Otto was up here on the desk. So I think Spencer, with how the updates have affected everything and the patches, I think Spencer definitely benefits the most from this because he loves going deep in his bag and just pulling out the most absurd stuff.
Yeah, it'd be funny if game 2, it's Spencer's on DPS. What?
You can't see Ghost is now on tank. No, I will still wait for the day I get to see Life Weaver in action.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I beg and plead for that day. I pray for that day that we get to see Life Weaver in action. That handsome lad.
Yeah. I see that tree. It's just a big tree.
See, and here's the thing: is a lot of my friends really dogged on me too because I play Life Weaver. Like that's typically who I go to. If I don't play Life Weaver, I'm probably playing Mercy or Lucio or something. You know, pretty normal pick. And one of my friends actually, I got on today, and they were in the VC, and they're like, you know who I've been playing? It's like who? They're like Life Weaver. I was like, oh, you like it?
He's
so great. Yeah, of course he is. I've been telling you this. I've been standing on this, and you've been dogging on me.
I also like how he just like wasn't like, dude, you're right. Like Life Weaver's like really good. He's just like, yes, you know what? You've been playing.
Yeah. And that was a nice little what's the word I'm looking for? I had it and I lost
Surprise?
it. No, it was a big, profound word. It was like a purple word. It was
purple word.
Yeah, it would have been nice. But what is nice are these highlights we're about to show you.
What was that sound? Yeah, sometimes David walks around with a hockey stick and he's like, David, you gotta be careful.
I've been excited all day. I can only imagine how you were in the car ride over here, bus ride. I don't know what transportation. Van? Oh.
Van ride, yeah.
Even better.
Even better. Miami, looking phenomenal. Not to toot my own horn.
Yeah, you can toot your own horn all you want. That's why we got you on here.
We do. Trinity, what did I do?
What
I
did
didn't
you
do anything. What did I do? I'm an innocent little boy.
Aw, do you?
Is that buttered popcorn or rotten eggs?
Well,
We actually do have a new face at the desk.
I
so
know.
If you could please introduce yourself.
They were talking about the guys at the desk. I know.
You said, excuse me.
Yeah, I know. I would not be surprised if we saw Narisa as well. She's doing really well right now.
It's the no fun police. I mean,
but it works is the issue. Like it's
exactly.
not fun,
That's
but
why
it works.
it's not fun, because it works. I mean, I feel like that was pretty good. I feel like it was
Great gameplay. I saw. That was my favorite part.
Highlights from last week's stream. We had 2 streams last week. Obviously, you saw the Miami of Ohio one, which we were talking about earlier. Cardinals ended up falling, and then that was our CS2 Valorant.
The other one was Valorant. Yes.
That's how bad my memory is. It literally happened last week, and I can't even remember.
Yeah, the Valorant one went pretty well. Saw some Bean Boozled on there. I got no good ones.
Really?
I did like 2 or 3, and then we saw Taylor Swift, aka my roommate Devlin, was here. He got only good ones.
Really?
Yeah, just kept you'd spin it. And just, oh yeah, it's a cupcake. I'm like, cupcake? Okay, cool. I just ate dishwater.
I just ate stinky socks, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah, and then I had to go back to like home with them, and he's just like, so yeah, what do you want for dinner? I'm like,
Nothing.
some cupcakes. That'd be cool.
Do you want some stinky socks? Do you want some barf?
What if they were jelly bean in a jelly bean form?
What if I just fed you in jelly bean form?
It's like Rick and Morty. Devlin, I turned myself into a jelly bean.
I'm Jelly Bean Zane! Bro, I have not even thought of, well, I can't say that, but I haven't watched Rick and Morty in probably since like the original run of it on Cartoon Network or Adult Swim. That's probably when I don't think I saw past like season 3?
Yeah, I don't even know. It's been so long since I've seen it too. There was a few years ago, I just was like bored. I was like, what if I just start watching Rick and Morty? And I watched like around to season 3, and then I was like, yeah, no, I think I'm good.
And that's, in my opinion, that's where it kind of started to tailor off, and then everything happened, and that's mostly the reason why I don't watch it anymore. But
I'd watch it more if he was a pickle more.
Oh yeah. If they had like little offshoot of like Pickle Rick, I'd be seated.
I forget. Doesn't that episode like end where like a rat takes it or something? No, he like kills a rat in it to like for limbs. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
Oh,
Genius show. You need 10 billion IQ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hated those memes.
Oh,
So
me too.
bad. They were so bad.
I remember what like.
But then the worst part about it is that it was true. Like everything they were saying and it was 1000% right. Like that was the fan base of the show.
Yeah, I remember when I first started seeing those memes, I was like, oh no. Oh, they're gonna get it. Rick and Morty's gonna just go downhill, and yeah, that's exactly what happened.
So switching our perspective back to Ball State Esports and kind of the grander aspect of Ball State Esports. This summer, Ball State Esports will actually be hosting 3 summer camps from June 21st to June 23rd. I can't believe I messed that up. I saw a dash and I was like, oh, that's too much for me.
When's it gonna end?
From June 21st to June 23rd, Ball State Esports will be running an on-campus overnight esports plus STEM camp for middle school students. Then from June 24th to June 27th, we'll be hosting high school students on campus for their own esports and STEM camps. This camp is absolutely free. Let me reiterate it, absolutely free. And spots will fill up last. There was no dash or period there.
Okay.
Period. Lastly, from July 15th to July 19th, Ball State Esports will be running 2 online summer camps for high school Valorant and Rocket League players. So those of you probably watching this, that's probably more to your tone, to your speak. This camp will have participants working directly with our professional coaches individually and in small groups. This camp has an extremely limited availability, so you should sign up as soon as possible. Like I said earlier, spots are going to fill up fast, especially for this one. The July 15th through the 19th, that one is going to fill up extremely fast. You see the dates there on your screen.
Oh, yeah. So virtual camp, that's gonna fill up so fast.
Yeah, so make sure if you are interested to fill it out. And for more info and to sign up, make sure you visit ccimoutreach.com/esports-camps. And of course, you've got the HTTPS and then the /. But ccimoutreach.com, outreach is spelled no spaces, how it normally is, /esports-camps, all lowercase.
Man, read out the full URL.
I did. I didn't even read the actual. I read the actual URL. I didn't even read the.
Wow. Yeah. They
Look at that. Yeah, I know this. I didn't even see that. I probably would have had a lot better time with that than. I guess I could just second guess myself. But those spots will fill up fast no matter what camp it is. So if you are interested at all, make sure you go to ccimoutreach.com/esports-camps and get your spot solidified. Because like we have been reiterating over and over and over again, those spots will fill up fast and those camps are great.
Oh yeah, if like this was around or I knew about this when I was in high school, I would 100% signed up immediately. Oh, especially it's free. I don't gotta pay anything.
I would have been here.
Oh yeah, can I still sign up?
I mean, you might as well. It is absolutely free, and spots do fill up fast.
Should I sign up for the middle school one or the high school one?
But for the dates, once again, June 21st to the 23rd, that will be the overnight esports and STEM for the middle schoolers. And then June 24th to the 27th is the same thing, but for the high schoolers. And finally, July 15th through the 19th is the esports specific one where you would come in, and that's where you'd get to individually and in small groups talk to our coaches and our players about Rocket League and Valorant. And you may be wondering, why just those 2 games? Well, those are the 2 games that will be played in the fall season, so it's kind of a ramp up for that season.
Yeah.
But changing back to Overwatch tonight, spring semester, completely different semester.
No Rocket League or Overwatch. Or Overwatch or Valorant.
No
Overwatch tonight, guys, actually. We were lying.
I hope we still got Overwatch tonight because I have not been told anything. But rotating back to Ball State Overwatch here, against EMU. Let's go ahead and give some predictions. What do you feel confident in saying is going to be the final score here tonight?
You know, especially after seeing the standings, I gotta go 3-0. You know, like, I wanna, like, a part of me wants to be like, give some like a little bit of hope, be like, oh, maybe 3-1, but like, I gotta be like truthful. I think it's gonna be 3-0.
Now, I sat in this very chair at this very desk and gave the 3 certainties in life.
That's true.
That is death, taxes, and birds on top. We used to have a saying, birds and foe, but it's birds in 3 tonight. And of course, I gotta roll with that. I'm not gonna bet against them up there on the stage.
Yeah.
They're right behind me. They'll jump me. They can hear me. We talked about their aura.
Yeah, they just gotta walk up to you,
Yeah.
and then you're done.
No, but I really do think that this will be a great bounce back game for the Cardinals. You know, we were talking about trends last week with the Miami of Ohio people. The trends are definitely in the favor of Ball State here tonight.
Yes.
I do believe, I don't want to say for certain, but I don't think we have ever dropped a game to anyone in the latter half of the standings in the ESC as far as Overwatch is concerned. Actually, I think that's the same way for Rocket League too, if I remember correctly. But once again,
as far as I know, that's correct. 100%.
Once again,
so.
wrong season. Source, trust me, bro. But historically, we've done good against these second, later standing teams trying to just fight their way in the playoffs. I think it'll be great for Ball State. Great bounce back. I think they got it. Birds in 3.
Yeah, birds in 3. Yeah.
And I do believe we have map B-roll. So what map are we going to first? It is Ilios. Zane, how do you feel about Ilios?
I love Ilios. Like all like 3 sections of it are just like have so many like just like fond memories. Like, and it's just like such a nice like layout too. All 3 of them. The well, it's got its own like. Oh, I love booping people into it. I love on like this one we're seeing right now, or before it switched to the well one. I love that it's just like a one huge open space and like that's it. Compared to going on to the one we first saw, where it's like in this tiny little corner, and yeah, just can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, so here be looking for a lot of characters that are able to move other characters. I know that sounds pretty shoddy in my description, but there's no really other way to describe it. I mean, Lucio has his ability that can boop people literally like 10 feet away and just get them away. We see right here on this map, you see the corners there. Perfect spot for booping. We probably will see it at least once. We look here, like you said, that entire side of the map is completely exposed. You can fall off at any point on that side, so be looking for that. And especially on well, with that well being directly in the center of the point, a lot of Roadhogs love to sit on the other side of that, get the hook, pull you in. Lucios love wall riding, especially in it. Pop out, boop you in, they'll get back in there, and they'll just heal. Low-key kind of slept on, I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face, is Sigma. His Cetrion knocks people back, and you can knock them off of the edge or into the hole. I have done it myself. It is one of the most satisfying things ever.
That's why I was thinking that with Orisa and the spear.
Yeah, the javelin.
Yeah. No one really mentions.
And not only that, her
boops, but yeah,
her shield, that spinning ability, it pushes you back. She could push someone straight down off the map or into the well.
Yeah, you mentioned it before in the highlights, but yeah, Orisa really just like takes all the fun out of the game.
It is. I mean, I will sit here and say it till I'm blue in the face, about as blue as this jacket. Orisa is the no fun police because it works, and everything she does is just annoying.
Yeah, and like she can just
doesn't
live
die.
forever too.
She just lives. It's so aggravating. Junker Queen used to have the same exact issue when she first came out, and just that she could pop her little ability, get all that health, and then just stay up there the entire time. And not only that, with how team fights are in Overwatch 2, it is such a pain to try and kill a tank.
Going here, we're not seeing the Genji right now from EMU. Instead, going with a Sombra here and a Tracer now, switch from the Symmetra. And that quick fighting right off the bat. Ghost off screen getting a kill onto Tracer.
Quick pick there with the Widow from You Can't See goes well as you expect on the dome of the Winston, straight in his own bubble. Doesn't matter. He's going to get in there and do work with the Acetrion. No one really pushing on point here. Point hasn't opened. It's just now open. Ball State has one person working on the point. EMU contests, but where Ball State thrives is fighting off the point. We see here, Ball State, it was like a 5v1 on that Lucio. Now they got him pinned back here in the corner. This is trouble. That is the side of the map you can fall off of. So make sure you keep that in mind. No one on point for either team. Lucio from EMU finally falls back, starts taking the point, and EMU staves off this Ball State attack to get the first point.
Yeah, and that was a great fight there from Ball State. Put up like Spencer at one point was like so close to death. Amazing knife throw right there from Spencer, by the way.
Chill.
Immediately, interesting switch to Junker Queen from Sigma right on the first step. It's very interesting here, especially when we've seen him fall so quickly right there. I wonder if we'll maybe see a switch back. But right now, yeah, just fighting more and more. Yexter trying to take that point.
Yeah, they got this. That pick off of the Winston there for Ninja Curly Fry. Also getting Sombra and Tracer both. Make it one more. That should be the team kill realistically for Ball State. They obviously don't get one because of how the kills lined up. But Ninja Curly Fry getting 3 kills there is swinging it in their favor. And not only that, they have the point. Held EMU under 50%. So typically, if you're looking at a game like this, you want to kind of get in there and get the point back as fast as possible. Ball State, very first fight reliant. They love winning that first fight, getting as much pressure and percentage on the point as Winston just dives right in here into the teeth of this Ball State defense. No fear, no nothing from that monkey, and he just jumped right in there. And the ults are going to come out here for EMU. They got 3 more in their back pocket, 4 more now. Tracer up to 18% already. It's egregious how fast her ult just charges.
Yeah, I understand like some of the arguments for it. That's like, it's just like a bomb kind of really gets 1 kill. You're not going to get like a lot of kills with it, but still, with how quickly she builds it up, like
literally, I saw it go from 0 to 18% in the matter of like 2 seconds. Like as I was sitting there talking, it just ticked up and up and up. Yeah, here come all the ults here, trying to stave Ball State off the point.
Yeah, EMU quickly taking the point back. Just trying their hardest to push up here and make sure Ball State doesn't advance forward any bit.
EMU looking really, really good here. Yexter taking the Cenit route back to get behind his team, make sure he doesn't get picked off there in transition on the way back to the spawn. EMU's in a really, really good spot here. This is like one team fight territory here for Ball State. Great damage there on Ninja Curly Fry. We know how. Oh, that's a great EMP there by the Sombra. Takes down 4, I do believe, 4 Ball State. Spencer now out of mech in the Diva, just trying to survive, get as much damage as he can to get that mech back. They have to push on point here. It is overtime. Time's ticking down. Will they get on the point? They do not. EMU takes the first round off of Ball State here.
I am immediately not what I was expecting right there. And we did see that Spencer switch from Junker Queen, from Diva. How are you feeling about that?
I don't know. I don't want to be able to say it, but that's a little bit of a head scratcher there.
That's what I'm
especially
feeling
against
right now.
especially against the Winston. I don't. Diva's defense matrix. I don't think. Like I'm almost certain it does not stop Winston's.
Yeah, I could see maybe it stopping like if he like shoots it, because I know
it's a projectile technically, but
yeah, but like I would imagine that just a normal fire it wouldn't.
And especially when EMU had, well, I guess they didn't ever had the Symmetra, but if they rolled out with a Symmetra here against the Divas, that would be tough for Ball State. I guess we'll have to see how it plays out, but I'm not the one up there on the stage. I'm not the one making those calls. As you can't see, Ghost gets a quick pick there on House as they push onto Well here. This is the map we were talking about. If you fall in that well in the center, you are dead. So you got to make sure you got to keep that in mind. It is the one environmental hazard on this map. Silver B goes down due to Spencer. We were doing all that trash talking about Spencer's Diva pick. He said, let me do work. Let me put on the Tims and go to work. Let me lace up my work boots. It's just another Thursday, I guess, this week for the Cardinals. Ball State wins that team fight. They came out of that second, well, I guess they going into the second round, came out of that first round pissed off.
Oh, I could definitely see it here from Ghost. Just trying, like, he's all alone a little bit, or at least was for a bit, just fighting, like, Winston and a few other members from NEU or EMU, and just, he's not backing down until right now. He's just going forward. All he sees is red. And just like that, you're seeing Ball State up here, slowly building more and more onto the point. But falling, Spencer has fallen to Indigo right now, off screen.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in, especially getting put out of mech directly in the center of the point. There's very little you can do, especially when your team is already on the back foot, kind of getting off the point. As they do re-engage here, EMU did take it for a split second. That any percentage, let me reiterate this, any percentage can be crucial in the end. Even if it's 5, 10, or 15%, it doesn't matter. As Yakester, you see there, oh my goodness! Ball State stormed back onto this point, and not only that, they stormed onto it with a fury!
Ooh.
A team kill here for Ball State, clears off the point, and the point is back in their possession. Slowly ticking up is the percentage, 45, 46, putting the pressure on EMU. They had a great first round, coming out very flat, or Ball State coming out very aggressive this round.
Oh yeah, especially for EMU, I'd be worrying here. The time's running out. They've hit 60%, and we saw how quickly in the first game EMU was able to just kind of take it. Oh, Curly Fry getting that kill off screen, great. But here, and one thing I do like about EMU, I do like how Silverbee's playing this Winston.
It is a very, very solid Winston, I will say that.
First, like, oh! Oh!
Come on, man.
10-player kill streak, and he's just rushing forward.
Make
He's
it
at
11!
their spawn!
This is when Ball State is their best. When they are loose, they are having fun, and not only that, they got you pushed back all the way to your spawn. What are you going to do? You can't do anything. Winston jumps in there, pops the ult. He's all alone, though. The team has to follow him in. That Lucio ult will surely help him. And the EMP also does go out, only gets Spencer. You can't see Ghost falls, but the rest of the team is still up, and they are still taking the fight to EMU. It is overtime. EMU maybe having one final fight. Not going to come to fruition, though. Ball State,
the
round 2
Devil's
winner.
gonna make sure he gets the kill on a house 2 with the ult as well. Wow. Yeah, we lost round 1, and we went, okay. Let me stop.
You had us in the first half.
What's the Naruto guy takes off the weights? That's what I'm imagining right now. I can't think of his name.
I actually have no clue. I have not seen Naruto.
I've never seen Naruto either, so I guess it's the worst show I could have referenced. I think Rock Lee is his name. There's like a
Rock Lee is someone. I know that name.
I think it's him.
I also know Mike Guy.
Mike Guy?
Might Guy.
Mike Guy. I don't know
like
him.
Like MIGHT.
I've never heard of Mike Guy.
Who's the other one I know?
There's Sasuke.
I know Naruto.
And that's a start.
I know Ninetales.
Seen a little bit of a switch here. Silverbeat actually playing Reinhardt right now. A little bit of a switch for a lot of players. House switching from Sombra to Mei. Luke on the Baptiste now. And even on Ball State's side, Curly Fry going to Echo. I believe that's the only change.
And that Echo pick, we were very critical of it last week, and it actually panned out very, very well. And I think here, especially for this point, it will work.
Whoa.
You can't see Ghost does recall back onto the point. That's what we were talking about. Those environmental hazards are a pain in the rear end. And you can't see Ghost able to get back onto the point and win this team fight. Well, not him single-handedly, but Ball State. Very... what's the word I'm looking for? Doesn't matter. They won very promptly.
And Ghost already with the Tracer ult, like we've been saying, while everyone else on Ball State is kind of in the 60 range. I don't think they know he's right there.
That would have been a crazy time for that ult.
Yeah, that teleporter really ruined it. I really was like, oh no, oh no. But still, again, the immortality field.
That was a great immo field. Saves Baptiste and saves the hopes of this team fight. He does fall later on, though, to Ninja Curly Fry. but so does Yakester. So a support down each for both of these teams going into this team fight. Silverbee gets Spencer.
Another
Can he
boop.
TP? He
gets the wall just
I always
in time.
forget that Kiriko can wall run. I was waiting for the TP back onto the point.
Oh, second one.
Can't quite get it that time, though. EMU wins that team fight, but by far, Ball State not out of this round.
Especially, yeah, we're seeing a Spencer go to Orisa. He's like, okay, they've had enough fun.
Yeah, no fun, police.
Time to win.
Come on. You know, when things get tough, you just got to pull out the no fun police.
Oh, yeah.
Old tried and true.
Yeah, I pull out Orisa when it's like, yeah, it's time.
Yeah, it's dire. It's dire straits out here.
But he is going to fall to Silverbee pretty quickly into this team fight right now.
Yeah, he charges right in there and dies, and that changes the complete tide of this game, because if you lose this team fight, you'll really only have one more shot, maybe two if you want to make it quick, to win this game. That's a major, major issue for this Ball State team. Spencer charged right in there and died very, very quickly. Oh, my.
And now he, like, kind of has to run in there with 85%.
You have to. This is it. The tides have changed here in this match. 1-1. Winner of this takes the first round. Does Ball State drop around to EMU? Ball State already on point. Looking like they're going to cap here. EMU knows that they have the lead. They don't want to force anything. They're going to fall back. Gray Reinhardt gets 2 or 3, and that changes the entire course of this fight. 3 fall for Ball State. Only 2 remain, and EMU charges back onto this point and takes it, and that's a first round win for Eastern Michigan.
Wow. Yeah. I think Ball State actually might be a little. I think we judged EMU a little too harshly right now, especially after that Ryan Shatter was amazing, getting the three kill.
Who else but Ninja Curly Friday to get the play of the game? Come on now. Come on now. Don't fool yourself. Don't kid yourself. Very first round here. They were moving on to the point to try and defend it. Gets 1, gets 2. This is when they get 3. Cuts off the third K there. But all things considered, great round from Ball State. Even better round from EMU.
Oh, yeah. Both teams did play extremely well. Just like, I think Ball State just had a few more, like, blunders than EMU did. Like, Spencer just running in there.
Yeah,
like, what's going on?
And then not only that, picking the D.Va coming off of the first round, going into the second round, and then not only that, switching from the D.Va to Orisa, rushing straight in there, not getting the result you want. You want to talk about a surprise? I'm genuinely surprised right now. This EMU team, their record might not dictate how good this team is.
Maybe it was the Genji. We saw no Genji.
That could be
only
it.
Sombra. Maybe it was the Genji was the reason they were falling behind all this time.
They said, bro, get off the Genji. We need you to lock in. He said,
okay.
No. They're barely out of the playoffs now. He's like, I guess I'll play what you guys want me to.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Ball State drops the first round here to EMU, going into hybrid, I do believe, because it goes. No, is it hybrid?
I'm not sure actually.
We always struggle with this. I can't remember if it's hybrid or straight payload, because I know the third one is Flashpoint. It is Kings Row, so it is hybrid. I have made my feelings about Kings Row very pronounced. How do you feel about Kings Row?
Kings Row, I like. You know, like, I feel like it's just kind of like vanilla. Like, yeah, I'll eat vanilla ice cream.
You're never going to seek it out, though.
Yeah, am I going to buy vanilla ice cream? No. But
and oftentimes, vanilla ice cream isn't good by itself. It has to have something else with it. So, like, I guess Kings Row in the right hands of players could be good, but for me, not the move. I'd rather play Circuit Royale. No, Circuit Royale is just straight payload. What's another hybrid map that I like? Blizzard World.
Blizzard World?
I really like Blizzard World. I think that's an unpopular opinion, but I like Blizzard World. Is that really the only other hybrid map I can think of right now?
I'm scrolling through.
I can't think of any other.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I always struggle with Overwatch map names too. So like there are a few I'm thinking of. I'm like, what is the name of the map?
Well, let's play a little game here. How about you explain the map to me, and we'll see if it's payload or hybrid. Because everyone I'm thinking of is just straight payload. Because I'm thinking Route 66, Circuit Royale.
Yeah, Junkertown's full payload.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm blanking right now. What?
I can't think of any other hybrid. I genuinely cannot think of any other hybrid maps.
Yeah. Oh. This is gonna bug me for so long.
I've been doing this for 3 years.
Yeah. Like I still remember when I picked up my copy of Overwatch 1 because it wasn't free. I had to buy it at GameStop.
Yeah, and if you didn't buy the Game of the Year edition, it wasn't even worth it because you didn't get the loot boxes. Yes, the loot boxes.
Oh man, Overwatch loot boxes. That's a long time. Ninja Curly Fry, maybe going Genji. Maybe that's the answer for them.
Is that the key?
The EMU gives up the Genji, but Ball State picks it up instead.
And then as far as everything else goes, pretty typical comp here. You see the Widow. Typically the Widow raises an eyebrow or two, but especially on Kings Row with the very high sight lines, you can get a couple, 3 very valuable early picks. That way you can move on to the point.
And now looking at the EMU's team, this is the perfect time to choose Genji because they're not going Winston or Symmetra right now.
I think some like it bot.
Yeah. So I wasn't even paying attention to the poster. I was like, what? I was trying to think of Ramatra.
Do you think I was talking about Ramatra?
He's a robot.
This is a PG stream. Come on.
But he gets all buff.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, he gets buffed for like 20 seconds. That's kind of cool.
Are you sure it's not something else other than cool?
It's a little cute. I said it.
I guess I can't say much. I did call Life Weaver pretty hot earlier. Anyway, rotating back to EMU versus Ball State. Ball State pushing on to the point here very quickly. They are almost behind the point, which if we know anything about Ball State, they love fighting off the point. They will fight off the point until everyone is dead, then they will circle back around and sit on point. Which this is not out of the ordinary. Yakester falls to Fluke. Oh
Just
my!
Barely.
And now the dominoes are starting to tumble. Ball State may be overextended here. They still are getting the point though. That rotate around actually works out for them because they are able to push EMU off the point, and by the time EMU would, they aren't going to, by the time EMU would re-engage, the entire Ball State team would have already been there.
Yeah, and thinking about it, I think also by then the payload would have, or they would have just about gotten the point.
It wouldn't have been worth it.
Yeah, there's no use unless like there was one guy there on point. But yeah, just falling back here, just doing the classic, letting the payload get up a little bit.
And this is one of those sight lines that a lot of people don't think about or consider on Kings Row. That's a very, very tough spot to push through, especially if you're pushing the payload. Pushing it through that archway straight down that alley with that high sight line for the defense is tough to get your way through if you don't know how to do it. Ball State, though, 4 ult in pocket, and knowing how the Tracer ult charges, it's soon to be 5, especially in the hands of Ninja Curly Fry. Payload does come to a halt here, though, for Ball State. Like I said, they love fighting off the point. Ninja Curly Fry doing all they can to be a grade A nuisance with that Tracer, which is really all you need to be. A lot of ults coming out here, and I think whoever wins this could set the tone for the rest of the game. I know that's very early, but a lot of ults coming out here. 1K there for 2K there for Ninja Curly Fry. What else? Just another day in the office.
I think Ninja Curly Fry's asleep up there.
Are we sure that they have their eyes open even? Raven Strider gets 2 there. Spencer gets the pick on Indigo to complete the team fight. Ball State lugging along here in Kings Row.
Yeah, and just like the first fight there for the point, it seems so very similar here. Just kind of EMU's letting Ball State get a lot of rounds right now because they just can't win these team fights. And immediately Fluke getting falling to You Can't See Ghost as Curly Fry falls to house.
There goes the Lucio Alto, however, to solidify, try to get this point there, win this team fight, get to that checkpoint. That way you get the front spawn. Spencer sticking with the Orisa here, no changes so far. That recall misses the Javelin. How about that? No dice, though. All that effort just for the same ending.
Just like that, yeah, Ball State just takes another team fight, and they move the payload up a tiny bit closer. Now, I'm wondering if we're ever going to see maybe Silver being switched back to the Winston here. This Ramatra, from what I've seen, doesn't seem like it's doing as well as he could be doing. Especially right now as the payload's getting like closer and closer to the ends.
And the issue with Ramatra is you have to get in the face, and whoever it is, you have to pop this ability. He's going to pop his ultimate. I know he is.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to run in there and pop his ult.
Oh, but he's losing health.
But, well, when you pop your ult, you get health back. And he doesn't even get the chance to pop his ult. That's what I was saying. You have to get in their face and to use any of your abilities really to fruition, to the most of their benefit. And he can't do that with this team comp. Orisa can just stave off. He can shield and push you off. Tracer, king of getting in your face. Kitsune comes out here for the final team fight. Ball State, oh, there goes the Ramatra ult here. So does the Spencer ult. Every ult coming out right now that everyone has. This will be the final team fight. All chips are in. Both teams betting on their hand. Whose hand will be stronger in the end? It's looking like it might be EMU. EMU staving off the attack here from Ball State. 2 ults, though, up for Ball State.
Both ults that can deal massive damage right here in the end game.
That is super considering for EMU to have 3 people that close to each other in a specific spot.
Yeah, it seems like they just keep having to fall back. Oh, Silver immediately coming out. Indigo. Oh, House. Are we going to see a third? Not quite, but oh. Ghost. Oh, Ghost doesn't care. He's just going to go in there and clean up. And I believe, unless House get on to site right now, which will not be able to, and there we go.
And that's something else that really, it doesn't irk me about Overwatch 2, but that team fight was never truly over. Like, they were still fighting as they were falling back, and that's something that has taken, for me, a lot of getting used to, is these just ungodly long team fights that last almost an entire round. And it's just so aggravating because no one dies and there's only 5 people. So if one person falls, everyone else falls, especially if it's a tank, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That's the big issue for me.
No more bots. I guess some people don't like it bot. Some people don't want them.
Some like it bot. Some people don't like it bot. You like it bot.
I love it bot. Yeah.
I know you like it bot.
Especially when that bot's Ramatra.
Oh.
Oof. Only for the 20 seconds though when he's buff. That's the only time I like Ramatra.
Is that all he gives you is 20 seconds?
Yeah, and he's like, oh, I gotta go kill the humans.
I gotta cool down.
And I go, you're working too much.
Yeah, and then you guys argue, and he ends up leaving, and then...
Leaving me with the kids.
Yeah, and then it's all your fault in the end, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's what all the kids are going to grow up and go, you're the reason Dad left. Go, your dad's not real.
Your dad's literally a robot in a fictional game, all right? Rotating back here, though, EMU not running Ramatra. Rolling out the Winston once again, probably the safe pick here. Quick fall there from Indigo. Exit stage left very quickly and hastily. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. That was it. And EMU already retreating. Silver B falls, so does Kiriko. First team fight goes to Ball State, and like I said earlier, this Ball State team very, very first fight reliant.
Yeah, especially they took that first fight quickly. If this is the type of dominance we're going to see right now in Kings Row from Ball State, then this is going to be a very tough match for EMU.
Well, and the thing, too, is we know, especially last week, even Miami of Ohio is way better at certain modes than others. So let's say Eastern Michigan is just a really, really good controlled team. So be it. You know,
Curly Fry ult to miss.
You can be a one trick, but in the end, it's not going to pay out. You have to be good in all aspects, and this Ball State team is good in all aspects. And you see there one of the shining spots, Ninja Curly Fry. One of the 5 shining spots really on this team. This team is just insanely good, and I think they're way better than their record shows.
I completely agree, especially right now, just playing so well. So we still got a few minutes left into the match, but like EMU's got to be making some moves here. Like they've gotten like none of point at all, and I can tell they're hoping this fight is going to be the one. Kind of going a more direct approach here instead of going behind.
Yeah, they do have the alt eco though, not for long, as they are going to start dropping alts. The Tracer alt, the Kiriko alt. So does the Kiriko alt come out for Ball State. Watch for the Spencer alt. Ball State's going to have 4 alts up here in a second. I just realized that. Ninja Curly Fry at 97, soon to be 100. We know how Tracer works. And then the only alt they won't have is Kiriko. So Ball State alt eco, very, very good right now. It is in their favor. They do lose the control point here. You know, they did work the time down though, and that's the biggest thing, is especially when they pushed the payload as fast as they did. If this does go to overtime, you want as much time as you can get.
And chasing Indigo all the way kind of back there behind payload. And already seeing, like, even comparing it to when Ball State was defending, or when they were attacking.
Very similar.
Yeah, very
I feel like
similar.
attacking strategies from both teams, that is. So I feel like EMU pushed the payload very little bit, and they rotated back around as a team. And it looks like it's paying dividends here as they get 2, they get 3 here on Ball State. Ball State
in here.
I think they kind of realized that it was all for naught, and he said, all right, you know, I'll go in there. If I get 1, I get 1, and it's better than none. But Ball State 4 ult up here, depending on if they want to wait for Raven's ult to come up. They will have 5. But
EMU's ults are also getting
I was ready to say,
close.
I don't think you want to do that, though. I think you kind of have to draw out these ults from EMU very early on, try to survive, and then counter with your own ults.
And right now, we see EMU already kind of got past the point where you were saying, oh, that's very tough to get the payload past there. Because we have Ball State kind of just let them go through right now. Very interesting to see from them. It's time to take this fight later. Getting that kill on the house right there as Spencer falls off screen.
Yeah, I thought things were trending Ball State's way, and then Spencer falls. So a lot of trading here from both these teams. No team really getting the upper hand on one or the other until they get that real defiant team fight win, as the Winston's looking to spearhead the attack here and move this payload further into Ball State territory. They do still have 2 minutes to get it just that little bit. You see where the teams are fighting now as the ult goes out there. 2 fall for Ball State, but the Tracer falls. Ooh. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. So many trades. 2 kills for Ball State, 3 kills for EMU, but Ball State is back up. It doesn't matter, however. EMU gets the checkpoint. They get that forward spawn, and not only that, they get another minute on the clock.
And also, Ball State, all 4 of those ults are now gone, and didn't really see too much progress with them. Well, EMU only used 2 of theirs. Kiriko's now coming out. We see it, hoping to get, oh, and Spencer's, or not Spencer's coming out as well, Silverbeast's coming out as well. Not as he falls, so you can't see Ghost.
Yeah, that Winston ult was kind of a head scratcher. I understand getting in there and want to do as much damage as you can, but you did not have your team behind you. Not only that, opens the door for a Ball State full frontal assault. As you can't see, Ghost gets 2 back in transition on the way to the spawn. And that does add up because they cannot charge in here and take this team fight without their second support.
And interesting, Silverbeast has gone back to Ramantra right now. After we saw last round, that's a very interesting pick. I was fully expecting him to stay on Winston this whole time.
Well, I bet you were hoping you were, that way you didn't have to see your ex-husband now.
Yeah, that is true. The force is still fresh. just like how House is freshly dead. Oh, and so is Tracer, so
Chill.
is Indigo.
Take a chill,
Oh.
chill. 4K there for You Can't See Ghost. Absolutely spearheading the attack. Well, I guess the defense might as well have been an attack. How vicious it was on these EMU Eagles. I almost said Hawks again. The Eagles having to retreat back. You Can't See Ghost with a 4K there. If that's not play of the game, then I don't know what is. Oh my goodness.
If that's not play of the game, then like someone paid off an Overwatch dev.
For real. Just throw a Junkrat tire out there and get 3, and then you'll get play of the game. It's okay.
Yeah, that's we're gonna see EMU switch to the Junkrat here. That'd be a very interesting switch. But EMU is almost there to the point. But
I'm about to say, Kitsune does come out for EMU. They aren't utilizing it though.
They're backing up.
Yeah, Ball State pushes them off the Kitsune. That is not paying dividends. However, this Kitsune for Ball State will pay dividends. It is right there. Spencer very wisely just staying at the edge, but getting the most out of it that he can. I guess in a way it kind of worked out for EMU. Yes, you lost your Kiriko ult, but so does Ball State. Ramatra ult comes out here. Spencer probably looking to drop that ult here soon. I know he wants to. His fingers hovering over that Q button. Gets the melee kill there on House. That's 1 DPS down, but 2 supports, both supports. No, oh, that was Sojourn. My apologies.
Oh, he saved it. I was fully thought Yacer was going to die there, get booped off. But we're seeing that Spencer's falling. Ult not going to do too much. Ooh.
And the boop off the map. We were talking about all those environmental kills with the control maps. The environmental kills come into play here on Kings Road right there at the end. That's one of the small few places you can fall and get killed, and it does happen to Ball State. Tied here going into overtime, but Ball State just south of 3 minutes by 1 whole second.
Yeah, that's crazy. They've got their 1 second earlier would be exactly on 3. And I mean, EMU is exactly on 1.
Well, you automatically get 1 minute no matter what. So that's how they try and balance it out. Ball State does not get that 1 second that they wanted.
Oh, you're right. It did go below 1 right before. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing pretty much the same loadout. We're seeing Blue might going for a Moira play here. And we're seeing House on the May. Which is interesting to see how they're going to be thinking about playing. Oh, Junkrat!
Let's go. Someone's got to be listening.
Oh, yeah. He was like, wait, I can get play of the game?
Yeah, he said, oh, 3K? Play the game? A Farah?
Ooh, Farah.
All right, they got to be they got to be trolling now.
Yeah, Farah with like Ghost on Sojourn right now, I just don't think be a good play at all. Which is, he's switching back to the Tracer. Get back to just the loadout, the normal characters.
Yeah, very typical comps here for each team, but EMU taking the fight quickly to Ball State. They know how open this first point is, so they're going to try and take the team fight inside, which helps and benefits Winston. But House falls, and so does Dr. Rosno. That has to be a House reference, because like that is a character in House. Does not get Indigo on the way back, though, to their spawn. However, Yacer does fall. That could help Eastern Michigan a lot here. Yacer a little overzealous there, gets caught right in front of their spawn, trying to play that classic Ball State defense. Push you back all the way to your spawn that way. You never even touch the point. Winston, however, all 4s on the point. Well, I guess all 3s because he has to be holding that weapon, doesn't he?
That is true. Except when he goes ult, I guess.
Yeah,
that is all 4.
No, it's all 2s. Because he's running around, remember? Most of the time, you're just automatically swinging.
That is true.
But it is overtime here, and they are pushing EMU off the point. Dire Straits here for the Eagles. Can they get on?
Spencer! House and Indigo just pushing up.
But just like Hotel California by the Eagles, you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave the grasp of this Ball State team.
I'm trying to think of another Hotel California joke. I can't think of one. Man, I've failed.
Well, I mean, you could always choose another Eagles joke. You know, life in the fast lane, witchy woman.
So the Eagles kind of like hawks. Red.
Yeah.
If you're colorblind.
How about you make like a tree and bark out of here, bro?
Okay. You don't want me here.
I see how I'm valued here.
I thought that was funny. My mom laughed.
You are now one of my elite employees.
You have been promoted. I love that video.
Yeah, we get it. It's Kings Row. It's mediocre at best.
You know, Ravenstrider. Oh,
yeah.
On Life Weaver for a second.
Weaver. Yeah. They make a thing out of this.
Just teasing you a little bit. One day they'll pick it.
One day. One day more. Another day, another destiny. Never ending road to cavalry. These men who seem to know my crime will surely come a second time. One day more. I did not live until today.
That's my favorite Eagles song.
Is it?
Yeah.
From Les Miserables?
yeah. I love the work that the Eagles did on the soundtrack.
Yeah, that is a pretty crazy soundtrack by the Eagles. Glenn Fry really cooked on that one. Don Henley really went in on that one. But Ball State going in here onto the point. Spencer gets a pick there on Tracer. Ninja Curly Fry gets a pick on Fluke. And it's all but a foregone conclusion here for the Cardinals. They storm back and they take this point pretty heftily. And now we are all knotted up at 1-1 apiece.
Yeah, didn't even need the full minute. I believe we ended and we had about 2 minutes, maybe like 10 seconds left on the clock. Just crazy. Oh, and like we said,
who would have guessed?
I was playing the game earlier, and UKC Ghost somehow got the play of the game. He wasn't even in the lobby. I don't even know how he got it.
That's what you were saying. He paid off one of those Blizzard workers. One of the Blizzard Activision workers. He said, all right, this one specific game that Zane is in, give me play of the game. I don't care what it is, just give it to me.
Oh, you think it was targeted towards me?
It was.
Oh, wow.
Because he knew you were going to be on tonight.
Oh, I was just thinking maybe he paid for like every game for like an hour. It was like, so just everyone who was playing Overwatch at this 1 hour was like, who is UKC Ghost? Why is he?
No,
was he in the game?
It'd be even better if it was just like that clip, just that Sojourn clip, and there wasn't even a Sojourn in the entire game.
It's like, we did not play on Kings Row. What?
This is Flashpoint. What? We're on Cervasa, which I almost guarantee that's where we're going is Cervasa next.
Cervasa? Yeah.
I would almost bet money on it because we have seen New Junk City a grand total of, I believe, 0 times. And yeah, but wouldn't you guess? Welcome to Cervasa.
I do like Cervasa. I don't know what like the general opinion on it is, but I like it. It's like a nifty little map.
Out of the 2 Flashpoint maps, this is the one that will always get picked regardless of what's going on. So I think it is very popular amongst, especially on competitive play. But in general, I like New Junk City better, but I am also a little peasant casual player who is like Bronze 2, so...
I get you, yeah.
Which I'm not a Bronze 2 player, mind you.
Yo, what is that in the sky? Huh?
That's on like some Valorant type beat. Valorant be having all kinds of stuff in the sky in the background.
Yeah, just like, it seemed like this gonna just blow up the planet. It was like a Death Star.
It low-key kind of looked like an eye, like staring down on the planet.
Ooh. Isn't there like a conspiracy theory that the moon is like an eye or something?
I've never once heard that.
Maybe I've just seen like.
Is that your conspiracy theory that you made up?
Yeah. I made it up, and I fully believe this that the moon is actually an eye of from the guy from the Eagles. It's his eye, actually.
Which guy?
The Eagle.
The Eagle from the Eagles.
The Eagle, yeah. He flew too close to the moon, and then they were like, you know what? Let's just make his eye the moon.
They said, all right, this guy,
aliens on the moon.
He went through all this effort to get up here. Let's give him a little bit of props.
Yeah, yeah. He didn't realize you couldn't breathe in space, so he like died on the way there, and they were like, "Oh, well, like what are we gonna do now?" He did all this way, like.
Yeah, he went through all this effort to come here, try and visit us, share his music with us, and what can we do to honor his legacy?
Like, oh, we could.
We could just make him the moon, you know.
Yeah, we could make his eye the moon.
Is that the man in the moon, the man from Eagles?
I never thought about that. Wow.
That's deep.
I mean, knowing the eye thing to be true as a fact, then I would assume that was if that conspiracy theory is correct, then yeah.
Well, I do believe we're about to go into game on Servasa here. Flashpoint, a lot like Control. I did not take the time to explain it earlier, so I will take the time to explain it now. So that first game mode you saw was called Control. This is called Flashpoint. It consists of first to 3 to get these points. You see the first point there that they will fight for. It is always the first point regardless. And the special thing about this is that the percentage is like tripled. So like 1 second is 3% compared to the 1 second is 1% that you normally get. Go back to those flowers. Go back to those flowers.
So beautiful
the
flowers.
purple ones. I want to look at those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a good flower.
I love flowers so much. They actually had a pretty nice installation at the Newfields, like the Indianapolis Art Museum down there at Newfields. They had all these famous paintings, and they had like flower bouquets that replicated those paintings.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was actually really, really neat. I'm glad I went to go see. Shout out to Ball State Esports alum Karina, who invited me.
Going in here, I've seen the EMU's kind of taken the first flashpoint a little, pretty dominant performance right now, but not with Silverbeak dying like that. Just a smidge. They needed a smidge more, but then Ball State is like, nah, actually, we want to take it first. And with a team kill. Wow.
Round opening team kill for the Cardinals. If you had any thoughts or hesitation about how this team would come out after taking that second round, go ahead and throw those out the window. Or maybe recycle them. Maybe not litter.
Yeah, you know, reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yeah, I don't want to promote littering here. That's not cool. What is cool is Ball State sitting on this point as cool as a cucumber. It does not matter how much pressure is on these Cardinals. They always will rise up and at least give it their all, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Ninja Curly Fry just getting on point, getting off point, making sure that they continuously still get that percentage. And I remember earlier I made that comment about how crucial percentage is. As 3 fall quickly, 4 for EMU. The only one left is Winston, who I believe died very early on, so pretty much a team kill there. But I made that comment earlier about the percentage on Control. It's even more so important on Flashpoint.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Especially like, yeah, I know a lot of people who their opinion on it is like, oh, Flashpoint, you got 2 more tries if you lose it. But in a very competitive scene like this right now, you can't even let up for a second. And Ball State is not letting up, getting kill after kill. Spencer, Ghost, both getting headshots, and Yester's getting the final guy. And man, immediately moving on to this next flashpoint here. I like EMU's kind of game plan right now. I just think or not Spencer. I keep saying Spencer. What I mean to say Silverbeak. He's just dying too quickly, and it's losing all the momentum for EMU. And then with no momentum, Ball State just easily takes it back over, and seems like they're going to immediately start with this next flashpoint, unless I assume Silverbeak's going to do a quick dive onto the point once it opens.
Yeah, and I also like to point out that Spencer switched to the Orisa that one time and has not switched off. He has been on Orisa the entire time. 2K there.
Oh.
Speaking of, Spencer gets a 2K there and an entire team kill for the rest of the team. Does not matter who he plays, who any of them play. They're going to come through and they're going to steamroll these Eagles. Life in the fast lane can get pretty tough.
Thinking about it, Orisa is like a really good pick here, because like we saw Winston, Symmetra, Genji are like all fun picks. They're all fun characters. Well, maybe not Symmetra. That's debatable. But and then Orisa just kills the fun. It takes away everything.
There's no fun police.
Already Ball State back up to 50% on the second flashpoint here. EMU gonna try and contest it a little bit.
See, and that's what I mean. You can get hit with the Tracer ult straight to the dome, and you just survive as Orisa. But you will not survive this railgun if you are Winston. Well,
actually,
it actually took
to the
quite a
Tracer.
few. It took 2 different ults to get that Winston. But you can't see Ghost. Say no attitude. Gets like 2 more there, staves them off the point, and quickly up 2-0 here are the Ball State Cardinals.
Already going on to the third flashpoint. And they're right by the enemy spawn too. Or is that their spawn? So, yeah, because that EMU is all the way over there.
Yeah, the enemy spawn is actually marked on this game mode.
That's always, I really like that they did that.
Yeah, I don't, because I ran to that the very first time I saw it, and I thought it was the next point because I was not paying attention, and it was their spawn, and I was just standing in front of their spawn, and they all came out and jumped me.
Yeah. It's the one place you don't want to be.
Yeah.
Alone.
Well, Ball State does enjoy sitting in front of the other team's spawn. They don't have to do so here, as the fight will take place on the point, and it is very quickly decided to go into Ball State's favor.
Silver Bee switching back to that Ramatra, but still following kind of the similar trend of kind of rushing in a little too early and just losing all the momentum.
This EMU team really needs to just get back to what they were doing the first round. I mean, they had a lot of success first round, has 3 ults, soon to be 4 with the Tracer ult up here for Ball State. I don't know what they need to do to get back and tap into what they had that first round, but they need to do it here soon, as a Kasune does come out here for Ball State. So does Spencer's ult. Will he get anyone with it? Does not get a soul, but does do damage. Will it be enough to get a pick or 2? Dr. Rose now falls. House falls. How apropos, one after the other, Blue, Silver, B, and one more remains. Indigo, just like Frank Sinatra, EMU's mood is now indigo. I reached deep in my bag for that. Fun fact, that is actually off of the first ever real album put out by an artist.
I did not know that, wow.
Frank Sinatra actually holds like the first real like modern day album.
Yeah. And Ball State showing them that they're doing it my way. That's what they're telling.
With a 25-player kill streak.
That is insane. That popped up, and I could not believe it. And then it goes.
Who else?
It's going to be the Kings Row clip again.
Who else? Yeah, it's got to be the Kings Row clip again, right? You can't see Ghost taking care of business on Sojourn here. You see the 2K there from Spencer just cleaning up here. And the reason they got to play and not Spencer is because they had assists in all of those kills. But, I mean, that's looking like a lot of the Ball State of old. Well, we saw week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way up until really spring break. And then spring break happened, they didn't play the game, and then they come back, they lose to NEU, they win, they lose to Miami. Very up and down coming back from spring break. But like I was talking about earlier, you need to peak at the right time. In this season, and this is when you need to start playing your best Overwatch, because if you go into the playoffs not playing your best Overwatch, good luck.
Yeah, what are you doing? Not playing your best Overwatch in playoffs? That's like eating cereal without a spoon. They're trying to eat it with like a fork. You ever try to do that?
Well, I mean, you can get the cereal pretty well with the fork, but none of the milk. That actually might be the move. If you don't like the milk, that might be the move.
To me, like, okay, quick sidetrack. Bowl of cereal, to me, is like, part of the reason it's good is I get a little drink after. I get a little bit of milk.
See, and I do cereal then milk, which is the only way to do it, I believe.
Oh, wait, like pouring? Or like, do you eat like plain cereal and then drink milk?
Yeah, so I actually have a bowl of cereal with a glass of milk right next to it.
Like Get Out? Yeah.
No, I'm lying. I put the cereal in the bowl. I guess I should have clarified that. Put the cereal in the bowl, and then you put the milk in the same bowl with the cereal.
I don't think I've ever met someone who actually like puts the milk in first and then the cereal, and I'm so glad that I haven't.
Well, anyway, I was saying that because I always end up putting way too much milk in there. So I have like half a bowl of just milk that I have to drink.
Yeah, I can see why that would be very tough, especially as a kid. Like milk's like a god drink. It's like
it's like the avocado for middle-aged people.
You ever try milk toast? I have been drinking a lot more milk recently. That's so true.
That is literally a kid. That is what children talk about.
Yeah, I've been drinking more milk. I think my bones are stronger.
I think I actually prefer the 1% over the 2%. I've never tried skim or whole milk, but I don't think that'd be up my alley.
The day you grow up is when you're like, I don't really want chocolate milk. And they're like, what?
I still love chocolate milk.
Me too.
I am so opinionated. Next map is New Queen Street, so we probably should talk about this while it's on screen. This is a push map, so what that means is that there's a big old robot in the middle of this map, and there are 2 barriers, both color-coded to the team, one red, one blue, and, well, unless you're colorblind like you said earlier, then it could be whatever color. 2 opposing colors, regardless, and your job as a team is to push that robot as far as you can, and then if you get it all the way to the end, you obviously win. Typically, when I see these, it is either so tightly contested or so one-sided. There's never any in between.
Oh yeah, I have to agree. I
like either one team has the barrier the entire time, or it just stays in the middle the entire time.
Oh yeah, it really is gonna go either way. I've seen a couple times a great when one team gets the robot almost all the way there and then they lose it.
That I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me.
Yeah, no, it's always so tough. You like respawn, you see it, and you're like.
That is when you kind of start to lose faith in the game. You're like, why am I still doing this? We were literally 0.03 meters away. And yet they somehow come all the way back, and it's always an overtime too. It's never.
It's always an overtime.
It's never during the actual game. They always get it with like 30 seconds left, and then it carries into overtime, and you just can't stop them.
Yeah, it's
because no matter how much you tell your random squad mates to group up, they will not. They will continue to stagger and die.
Yeah, they're gonna continue trying. And like beg for nano blades and stuff, and then they get.
I need healing.
Yeah,
and then I can't heal you, buddy. You're up there by yourself fighting Ramatra, Symmetra, and whoever else.
Yeah, the team. Someone picks Genji, and the team is like Winston, Symmetra, Moira, or immediately, and it's like, but they're like, no, please, I want a nano blade. And I'm like. Shut up.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that little dude.
I love the robot on push maps, though.
You know you can hit the gritty, right?
He can hit the gritty?
He can hit the gritty. Because
I'd love to see that.
So what happens is, like, when you get in, like, the very edge of his radius, he starts to go and stops, and if you keep doing that, he hits the gritty.
Yeah, that is sick. I didn't know he was cool like that.
He'd chill like that.
My favorite thing the robot does is when he gets to like the checkpoints halfway through.
Woo!
I like he always like peers out. He's like, nothing in the way. Okay. People killing each other. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's got to take a little smoke break. He said, "Oh, that's too much work for me."
Quick.
Yeah, I gotta step outside real quick. I gotta hit my new board.
Silverbeat taking a page from Ball State's book and going Orisa as well. EMU actually a very different loadout here. Indigo and the Doctor.
That's interesting. I don't think we've seen an Alari actually in play, if at all. And if we have, it's been very, very seldom.
Oh yeah, I don't know much about like tier list, but I do know that like Alari is considered one of the worst supports.
Which is crazy because when she came out, everyone was playing her. Of course, new hero bias, but like, she seemed to be doing really, really good. As Ball State needs to kind of keep an eye here on the point. They're fighting off the point so much that EMU's just gaining ground here on Ball State. Ball State rotating back around here, gets 4, well, gets 3, now 4. One of those was the healing pylon for Alari. Silverby, I think, already fell earlier on, so technically not a team kill, but I'll chalk it up as one.
Yeah, and just like that, EMU had it for a little bit, but once very much on EMU is once Silver Bee falls, it seems like the rest of the team just falls quickly behind.
Well, yeah, and that's the big thing too is like tank is so crucial, especially since you don't have another one. There's 2 DPS, there's 2 support. If your tank falls, that's the entire, I know I've said it 3 or 4 times, but that's the entire spearhead of your attack or defense here. Like that is someone you can just heal, and they will take all the damage for you. Not taking a lot of damage though is the Soldier and Alari for EMU. Ball State just moving along here on schedule, on pace, on time.
Almost to that first smoke break.
Almost time for the Newports.
That guy cannot wait. He's like, almost there.
He's fiending for it.
Yeah, he has a problem.
He may be addicted. He did not read the general surgeon's warning on the back of the package. We see him there taking a little break, looking around, maybe taking a puff or 2. Oh! EMU does steal the robot. He's right back to work. His break is cut short, but for how long? Ball State fighting right back and gets 3 once again. How apropos. It's almost like it happens this way every single time. Dr. Rose now, House, Bluke, Silverbee, and now that only leaves 1 left, and that's Alari all the way back in their own spawn. Ball State right back on track after that small little hiccup.
Yeah, and it's just great here immediately, just like pushing all of EMU back all the way to spawn. And just great play right here. It's going to be very tough for EMU to try and take this robot back, especially if they keep losing these team fights. Ghost getting a kill onto House using his ults. And Spencer just here making sure that payload, or not the payload, the robot just keeps moving. Although he is getting low as Ghost gets a kill on the block. Curly Fry taking down the turret as Doctor gets a kill onto you can't see Ghost. Ooh, that Spencer ult getting in a way like a double kill there.
Yeah, I was hoping to get the other one up there kind of in that balcony area. Does not. They end up falling back. And EMU on their heels. Big time here. 2K there for Ninja Curly Fry, but the Soldier does get Curly Fry on the way out. So 2 for 1 there for Ball State, and that's really all they needed. They can't afford to lose, and I will re-say that, can afford to lose Ninja Curly Fry in that situation just because they have already got such a lead. And not only that, you can't see Ghost was still up there with the Sojourn, so everything's paying dividends right now for Ball State. The chips are falling where they may, but where they may is on Ball State's side, on their half.
But an aggressive pushback here from EMU, already taking the robot, and it's almost back to the middle already, but Silverbee is low. Just narrowly escapes, but they do have to give up the robot right there. Ooh, the javelin just missed.
Yeah, I was about to say not quite on the dome of the Sojourn. I have not been able to say that all night. I have been really upset. You know, I typically say it when the Wrecking Ball does a pile driver. Oh man, I had the opportunity to say it there, but now the opportunity's come and gone, but not for you. Can't see Ghost. Gets 2, looking for more. Will they get it? EMU falling back. Silverbee left up there by themselves. You can't see Ghost. Of course gets another one, because why not? Ninja Curly Fly cleans up there on Indigo. This is all just Ball State right now.
Yeah, just rushing in every time, and EMU just is really having a tough time dealing with it.
It's almost like EMU's, like, in boxing terms or MMA terms, they're throwing punches off their heels. They are not set. They are not ready for these attacks of this Ball State team.
Curly Fry, Curly Fry. Ooh, just misses that ult.
We saw the vision, does not pan out that way, however. EMU decides they don't want none of that. House back there on the back line, trying to get as much damage as they can. And Ball State looking to rotate back off here just to make sure they all don't fall, they don't lose the team fight, and they still pick up 2 on the way back. And this is what I mean, these team fights last so long, they're able to disengage and re-engage within the same team fight. It's honestly absurd.
It is crazy, especially like the push maps make it like so much like those team fights so much longer because they're like right outside the spawn of EMU. Like EMU literally walks out the door and it's into the team fight.
Ball State nearing the final checkpoint here. Kitsune does come out for EMU. Look for this Ramatra ult to pop as well. I know he's wanting to use it. The question is, when will he use it? Kitsune also out here for Ball State. Spencer gets the pick there on the Sojourn, and Yakester gets the melee kill onto May. And that might be all that she wrote here for EMU, unless this Ramatra ult can pay dividends. But this entire Ball State team putting their combined effort into killing Ramatra, and there goes his little staff just flying away, much like the Eagles are going to have to fly back to Eastern Michigan with another loss on their record.
But they did play a great game, especially that first round.
Yeah, I mean,
the
no
victory.
joke.
Oh, the Ghost not getting the play of the game this time, but it is going to be Spencer.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take this in for a minute.
And yeah, no fun to be seen at all.
Yeah, I bet Eastern Michigan wasn't have too much fun playing that Orisa, because I know no one has fun playing against Orisa.
Yeah, the only fun that comes from Orisa is the guy who's like, oh my gosh, no one's having fun right now, and he's playing Orisa.
Yeah,
like,
that's what he thrives off of, is people not having fun. He's like, I'm going to ruin the experience for everyone else involved, and I'm going to love every second of it. Ball State very dominant there. I mean, they dropped that first round, and there was a lot of questions coming off the loss last week. You know, tough home loss, which you don't get to say that a whole lot. Home loss here for Ball State. How would they bounce back? Will they bounce back? And that first round came out kind of flat, you know, and definitely an eyebrow raiser, out of character for this Ball State team. They rally behind each other. They figure it out. Coach Otta gets the troops together up there, and they get it settled out, and they storm back, and I guess not really in a way they reverse sweep. It wasn't 2-0, but they win 3 straight to battle back and get the win. And I do believe we have Yakester.
Guys,
first of all, congrats. Last week, tough loss, obviously. You bounced back this week. What's the thought going out of the first round? You know, you dropped the first round to EMU. We both up here were kind of surprised to see how, I guess, well prepared EMU came out.
Honestly, it was just a little difficult for us because I think our target focus, our just kind of fight plan was kind of all over the place. We were all playing individual, and we weren't executing what Otta taught us and what he's really tried to nail in our heads. So it's kind of like our warm-up.
Yeah, you guys seem to really bounce back quickly, though. Was there just a moment where you clicked in, you were like, okay, we gotta stop playing individually, or what was going on? What happened?
I mean, truthfully, it happens. You know, sometimes you're just not synced as a team. It's first round, first map. You know, we're still kind of revving the engines a little bit. The biggest thing Raymond was telling us was our ult cycles. That was a team we could beat in our mid fight, which we did, but their ultimates, still we were losing to those, so we had to just kind of prepare for that.
Yeah, so then rotating it back onto Kings Row, and then just progressing forward, that was something we were able to notice even up here, was your ult eco was very, very strong from that point on. So... Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I heard that. I'm so used to having this over, it threw me off. I can't even remember the question I was going to ask now. Please tell me you got one.
Yeah, I can get one. Okay, so
I can't believe that.
Yeah, so sticking with the theme of the ultimates, Kings Row being able to play them a little bit better. We saw a few times where it seemed like you guys were really just kind of holding it. What was that? Did you feel that up there, where you're like finger above the Q, just I really want to ult right now, but you just can't? And could you go through what do you have to go through the process to be like, no, I can't ult right now, even though you want to so badly?
So especially for Lucio, B is primarily used for defense, so there's very rare occasion I'm actually going to be beating first into something. So a lot of it's kind of reactionary. I'm just waiting. Sojourn, if they beat first, if they do this first, I have to kind of do the mental checklist of what has to happen before I beat. So half the time I'll have my beat in first 20 seconds, and I don't use it for first 3 or 4 minutes of a game. So just patience and ready to use it defensively.
Yeah.
And that patience is really, I think, what sets you guys apart from those other teams, like the teams like the Eastern Michigans that you just beat. And I think that's also kind of the crux of last week, too. I put it as they did everything perfectly, and they played like the game of their lives. So moving past that, playoffs right around the corner, who do you have your eye on besides, obviously, Miami of Ohio?
Truthfully, no one. We want to obviously redeem ourselves for that. I think our other team is very prepared for that match. Our game against Miami, they won fair and square. I mean, nothing more to it. They were more prepared than us. And so practicing now and getting into our reps in, I think we're ready to beat them again.
A beat is crazy for someone who, so far, Miami has not lost a single game. But that sounded very confident right there. And
what happened last year?
Yeah, they heard it here first.
Ended up beating us in some regular season game, and then we 4-0'd them in our conference match. So,
and then not only that, with the just such history between the two colleges, you guys also beat them earlier in the year already. So series tied is going into playoffs. How does that factor in to like these matches you're playing now? You might not get to see Miami of Ohio first round. I would probably bet money that you aren't going to see him first round.
Probably not.
So how does that affect the games you play to get to Miami of Ohio?
Honestly, it isn't affected a whole lot. We're still going to face every competitor with the same sort of force we'd face like Miami. We're still just going to try our best to win and try to push through. And it would be nice to see them in the finals. I mean, we have no clue what will happen, but I think that'd be nice.
I think it would be too. I mean, it's like the two most even teams in the ESC, and it's always a great matchup when you do eventually meet. So I don't have any more questions.
I think I'm done too. Yeah, I think we're all good. You guys played great out there tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to every week. So it's always great to just come in here and honestly just watch you guys do your thing, win or loss. Obviously, we want to win, but I just love being in here. The team is great. You're great.
Thank you.
Just the entire atmosphere in here is always just so good. So once again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And I guess thank you for being good at Overwatch.
Thanks.
And I think that about does it from us up here in Muncie, Indiana, the salmon export of the country.
Yeah, but genetically modified. Let's go.
Well, I think we're ready to send it home, unless that was something that we got to remind the people that was just said in your ear.
So, so Trinity, you know her, you love her, born on ice, just was begging me to speak Salmonese because, as I've said on stream, that I'm the top genetically modified salmon. I'm actually not human, and so I can speak Salmonese. There is one issue that Trinity isn't thinking about, is that I have spoken Salmonese. I will speak it again. It's a little tough, just because salmon is in a lot different environment than the regular world, but give me a sentence. Give me a sentence.
I don't know. You say whatever your heart desires.
Oh, okay.
What's a salmon's favorite thing?
Probably not making sure bears aren't there. Hoping bears aren't there. Maybe swimming up the river. That's probably their favorite thing.
They do like that. That's typically when they get caught.
That is true. Oof. But they keep doing it.
They love it.
They love it. So here, I'll say, rough translation, I'll say something like, "Hey Jim, I'm really excited to go up the stream today." Jim.
So the names are still in English.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. There are some traditional Salmonese names.
Such as?
I went to this girl. I went to high school with this girl, whose name was it's a pretty cool name. You don't really see that name a lot, especially not in the ocean. and in the waters where salmon reside. But like I also knew this guy who was just named Bob, and he was just a full salmon, couldn't even speak English, and I was just like, wow, yeah, that's Bob. that's
the man, the myth, the legend, Bob, right there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's hilarious because there used to be a little piece of exercise equipment called the Bob that we used at our high school, and it was basically just like stretch your calves. It was like a little triangle. You like put your you put your foot on and you lean forward, and it stretches your calf. I don't know. That's what I think of every time I hear Bob. Because that was my version of a smoke break during weightlifting. I got to go hit the Bob real quick, and I'd go start stretching out on the Bob, go back, do my other set. But I think that'll about do it from us. I don't think you need to hear any more Salmonese or any more about Bob.
Yeah.
I would love to hear
Great
more.
guy, though.
I would love to hear more about Bob, but I think that does it here for us tonight. My name is Austin, a.k.a. The Sandwich, a.k.a. Jacrispy, a.k.a. Austin BPG, a.k.a. Gare Bear. There's definitely a couple I forgot.
The Eagle Hawk. That's my new one. That's what I'm coming up with that right now, the Eagle Hawk. And I'm Zane, a.k.a. Pokey Penguin. And I do not believe in the moon conspiracy theory that I mentioned earlier. I wanted to make sure that everyone knew, because why would anyone believe that?
Well, I believe in self-care, so make sure you love yourselves, love each other, and have a wonderful rest of your night.